Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rhapsody, saying Yahushi to the sound of an imitator. Never duplicated. Superstars from this Zen. We're gonna go over Raw this week was in Phoenix, Arizona, and one of, if not the most important Raws of the year. It's the go home Raw to WrestleMania. I can't stress on how important that is. And well, Before we get into that, go over the big news that occurred. They officially announced the next inductee into the Hall of Fame is Stacy Keibler, and honestly, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with it. She put in the work, man. She did. Between the stuff she did in WCW as Miss Hancock, from during the invasion, post-invasion, all her time working on there, you know, she busted her ass. No different than Tori or Dawn Marie or any of the other girls that came over after WCW and ECW fell. That's all it is, plain and simple. They did. All I can honestly say is congrats to her on it. It's always a huge hell of an honor whenever you're getting put into it and getting recognized by your peers like that. Now, so before we get into this week's Raw, just like always, we're gonna switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, the show started off right off bat with Cody going against Ludwig Kaiser, and this match came to be because of a skirmish that them two had during the Talking Smack show on Peacock, and this was a damn good match. I'm not even gonna lie. This was fucking good. Like, whoa, damn. Now, Paul Heyman and Solo came out during the course of the match, and they were ringside observing. Cody got the win. After the match, Heyman got the mic. Whoa. You did not get. I'm here to apologize. I'm here to apologize because you did not get the introduction you deserve. She did not do a good job, referencing the ring announcer. So allow me. Your winner, the man who will challenge the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. And then he starts talking about on how Cody's not going to win, and then gets to the point of this Monday, referencing in regards to this episode coming up, you'll be facing the Enforcer Solo. We'll get into that match in a moment. See, it's muscle memory. I just naturally keep the hand up if I'm referencing a promo. So, after that, Ray had a match against L.A. Knight. Yeah! Dummy! Yeah! And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Fucking love L.A. Knight. Decent match. Ray got the win, but the story in this, for this right here, was not the match between him and Knight. No, not one bit. The story here was during the match, Dominik came out, he was ringside. After the match, Dom was trash talking Ray some, and then Ray's wife and daughter were ringside, and then Dom starts bad-mouthing his sister, talking down to her, saying she's stupid and all, and then gets in his mom's face, starts screaming and yelling, "Mom, shut up. You're just as bad as Dad. You enabled him to do all this, blah, 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 blah," kind of stuff. And as Ray's up on the ramp, looking like looking all sorts of upset, but you could see he's then storming back down, goes over right to Dom and wham, decks him. And Dom's on the ground like, "Well, what? You hit me?" And then Ray gets the mic. "You made me do this. You made me do this. I didn't want this. I didn't want this one bit." But you know what? Here's the thing you forgot. Not only is she your mother, she's my wife. So you know what? You wanted me at WrestleMania? Guess what? You got it. And oh my God, the just fucking roar hearing when Ray said, "You got it," to that. Like, whoa. The people wanted it, and they finally got it. And it was just so good. Beautiful fucking storytelling. That's all it is. Plain and simple. It was beautiful fucking storytelling. Next up, we had tag match to determine women's tag match to determine who's going to be in the women's tag match at WrestleMania. Xia Li and Lacey Evans, which I did not have that on my bingo card as a tag team ever in the history of ever. Going against Shotzi and Natalya, who, again, honestly, I did not have that on a bingo card either. Shotzi and Natalya got the win, and afterwards then Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler came out, started talking down to everyone, and then officially declared themselves being in the WrestleMania Women's Tag Match. And my first thought was, shouldn't they have to qualify just like everyone else? I mean, it just seems a little wrong that, they could just go and say, hey, we're in it, but everyone else everyone else has to fight to get a spot. That's just me, though. What do I know? I'm implying logic to an illogical situation. So, yeah. Gunther had a match against Butch, and this came to be because of a dispute during the contract signing for the Triple Threat match at WrestleMania. I know, shocking, right? An argument that turned into a skirmish during a contract signing at a wrestling event. Oh my gosh, what a shocker. Anyways, huge throwback vibes to NXT UK TakeOver, and it was referenced by the commentators, Cole and Barrett, on it. These two had history with each other. A damn good match. God, I can't put over on how good of a match that was. Gunther got the win. So, yeah. Show ended with the closing segment to SmackDown was the KO show with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin embraced Sami's crowd pop. Sami embraced Kevin's crowd pop. And then they talked about on how they're back together, they're on the same page, and then Owen said, I know, now, a while ago I told you needed a new shirt, referencing his honorary Oos shirt. So, I got you a new one. He's holding it up, it's the KO Mania shirt. Oh, hey, it's this year's KO Mania shirt, nice. Yeah, but did something a little different. Hands it to him. Check the front. And then he looks at it. Oh my God! Whoa! Holds it up, and then you see WrestleZania. It's WrestleZania. You did this? Yeah, I did this. So then Sami puts it on. It's like, come on, give me a hug. And Owen's just looking like, you already got one hug out of me. You get one hug a year. That's it. And then, oh, come on. So they hug it out. And then, as they're embracing as good best buddies would, wouldn't you know it, those damn dirty Usos came out of nowhere and attacked them. They beat the crap out of them, and then they hit Sami Zayn with a 3D. Owens chased them off with a chair, and then the show ends with Owens and Zayn in the ring and the Usos on the ramp, both yelling at each other that they're going to kick each other's asses, basically. So that is it for SmackDown, and let's get into this week's show. Raw, Phoenix, Arizona. It starts off with Miz TV with his guests. Trying to give me a heart attack at the start of the show. Trish Stratus, Lita, and the MILF, Becky Lynch. They come out, and Miz hitting the hard questions right out the gate. Becky, you've been notoriously known for not working well with others, or not working well with, no, wrong choice of words, for not working with other people. Why now all of a sudden are you doing this? And then Becky makes jokes about Miz's balls, and Miz says they are huge, and and my wife can testify to that. Becky then hits back hard. Oh, must be nice to know Maurice hasn't been around much. Ow! Ow! That's a fucking hurt piece. That was a hurt piece on her part. Oof. Gotta be careful with them Irish women, man. They're fucking stone cold killers. Trust me, I know. I've been around plenty of them. Anyways, then they go on hyping. Becky starts talking about, yeah, you know, I don't necessarily play well with others, but I needed help, and when I did, I turned to somebody who I have respect for. And then referencing Lita, and then Lita saying Trish is her bestie, and this, that, and the other kind of bit. And then next thing you know, out comes Damage Control with Bayley at the helm. Freudian side showing tonight. Something fierce. Bayley then healing it up, shitting all over the Phoenix crowd, and then basically going into, you know what, you are nothing. You had to go and get help, whereas we've been here and we've been running this shit. And then Becky goes, fuck them. Like I said, Irish women are fucking vicious. Becky just sat there, put one in the chamber, click, click, looked through the scope, and then did a fucking headshot on all three with with what she said next, ripping into them, saying, no, you've been saying you've been doing this since August, since SummerSlam. What have you done? You took these two, and what are they doing? You took Dakota Kai, 2-time tag champ. What's she doing? She's following your coattails. You took Io Scott, who was one of the greatest NXT Women's Champions in there. And what have you got her doing? You got her running your coattails. No, you guys ain't doing nothing. So if you want to talk about on how I thought all this would be over when we took these off you, referencing the tag titles, I thought all this would be done with at War Games. No. So you know what? This needs to end. This needs to end once and for all at WrestleMania. And then it turns into a big stare down between all three, and then cut the break. We come back. Becky and Io match starts, and it starts out with Becky going hot right out the gate. Really good, solid back and forth. With Io with really good, solid back and forth going into the break. Io wind up bleeding post break. Really good match. Really nice. Trying to think of the right way to say this. Nice barometer to help set the tone for what the match is going to be at Mania. Really good. Becky got the win when Io, she went to go for the moonsault, missed, wound up going up, bam, flip face first into the mat. Becky goes for the disarmer. Io counters, roll up. Io goes for a roll up. Becky counters it for a roll up herself. And then eventually Becky, wham, hits her with a manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Damn good match. Next matchup that happened was Seth Rollins versus Mustafa Ali. And this came to be, they showed a pre-tape from earlier in the day with Seth being interviewed. And then Ali coming over all, hey, try to be positively, or so, along those lines, like positive Ali bit, yeah. And then Seth and Mustafa referencing on how Logan Paul wound up decking Seth and knocking him out twice. And then Seth just like, that's good. And you remember a couple months back when I had the U.S. title and you were chasing me around, all sorts of crazy, wanting a match? I think it's time I finally give it to you. Oh, I didn't, well, it's kind of come and gone. But good things come to those who wait. I'll see you out there tonight. So, yeah, then we get this. And Seth was pretty much the aggressor during this match. It just, woo. And match came to an end. It was really short-lived. Match came to an end when Seth had Mustafa up in a tree of woe and then hit him with a curb stomp, going wham, getting him with a curb stomp, with going into the mat, and then after he's out of the tree of woe, hit him with a curb stomp again, 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna say this real quick. A lot of people are blowing up Twitter saying Ali should just go and walk, he should just leave, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Again, I make this argument all the time. If you're not happy with the job, it doesn't matter if we're talking about wrestling, your regular 9 to 5, flipping burgers, working as a clerk, you know, mopping floors, whatever the fuck. If you're not happy, then go. Go, leave. Ain't nothing stopping you. If you want out that bad, then just fucking go. And I'll give you examples. The Pepsi Man, because he just fucking did that. Pac, Ryroid, all three of them guys, they were just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to be here no more. I'm done. They weren't getting their release, so you know what they said? Fuck it. I'll go home. I'll sit at home. I'll sit at home and wait it out. They're eventually either gonna cut me or they're gonna extend my contract during that time I'm out, and then I'm gonna sit out even longer and then be free. So it's that simple. And honestly, also, it's more to the point, his call. Because, now I'm just thinking from a family man perspective, because he's a family man. I don't know, it's a decent job. It's may not get the quality of matches I'd want. I may not get all the TV time I'd want. But you know what? I'm doing a job that I like. And I'm getting to provide for my family. Can't really see where the downside is. You know, you can go and say you got shitty creative, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's more like saying, like, complaining on if your 9 to 5 job doesn't have Snickers in the vending machine. Just, yeah. So, anyways, after Seth beat Ali, he then cut a promos talking about on how at SoFi, the crowd is going to be singing his song at the top of their lungs, and it's going to drive Logan Paul up a wall over it. And then he insisted on Arizona sing, whoa. So yeah. Next up, we got 8-man tag action. We got the Street Profits, Ricochet, and Strowmen going against the Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders. And really good pace and action with Gable actually being in the ring with all 4 guys at one point. Not like all 4 in them 4-on-1, but Gable worked with each guy individually at one point. And then eventually everyone got in there, and then big blah blah blah, smash them up action, and then they went to break. And then the heels were leading into the break. And then post break they were with Ford being the punching bag, Dawkins getting a hot tag. Good action going on, and then eventually Strowman winds up getting in, does the train, clears up everyone. And then at one point you had Strowman, Ivar, and Otis all staring each other down. The crowd got loud for that. And then Braun took out Ivar, and then Otis just wham hit fucking Braun like a wrecking ball and cleared him out. Like, whoa. That's a big boy, and I would not want to fuck with him. Yeah. So eventually, as the match went on, action happened. Came to an end when Strowman winds up doing a power slam, and then has Ricochet go and do a shooting star off of his shoulders, and then Montez Ford, who is the legal man, then goes and does a frog splash over Strowman, and then actually rotates to do a full 180 while in midair rotates and does a 180 and then lands on Eric for the 1-2-3. Next up, we got a final qualifying match for the women's tag match at WrestleMania. It was Mia Yim and Candice LeRae going against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, and this came to be because Chelsea, once again, being very much so a Karen, complaining to Adam Pearce not being in a match, and then Sonya comes over. You know, I understand. Yeah, I used to work with him. Trust me, he's not always the best on these kind of things, this, that, and the other. Sonya being Sonya, running Adam down, and then Pearce saying, if I can finish. What I was gonna suggest, you two team up tonight against, and then name the opponents, and you two can call each other, name your team whatever you want. The complaints department, the angry Karens, I don't care. You have your spot. You have your opportunity. So can I please have my office now? And then just, yeah. And fucking, man, do not sleep on Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce, man. If you can go and find his old stuff when he was working the indies, fucking watch it. But man, I tell you, Scrap Daddy is a hell of an on-screen character. I fucking love Adam Pearce as an on-screen character. We need to get its official merch made for him. Next, so as far as this match went, man, it was decent. It was very short-paced. Very short-paced. Mia, she was the punching bag for a little bit, and then Candice got the hot tag in. It was mostly the heels leading the pace and the flow of the match. It came to an end when Chelsea wound up hitting the Unprettier on Mia Yim, got the 1-2-3. So, yeah. And the biggest thing that was like, that didn't even really bother me at the fact that the match was really super fast. But what threw me off more than anything was almost immediately after the 1-2-3. Like, you don't get a replay, you don't get a talk like, oh, and these two girls are going to be going to WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. No, we got almost like immediately after, next thing you know, boom, Damian Priest music cuts, and we get next match with Damian going against Rey Mysterio with Dominik ringside. This match actually started during the commercial break with them two slugging it out, and they showed replays with Rey leading. It was a decent match with Priest leading the majority of it, and it was good. I thought it was. It was both guys knowing how to work with each other, Match came to an end. Rey was picking up the pace, hit a 619, was going up to the top, getting ready to go and do get froggy, and then next Dominik, wham, clocks Rey for a DQ, and then they proceed to do a 2-on-1 beatdown on him, and then just as it looks like they're about to go and rip off Rey's mask and expose him and completely decimate and humiliate him, Rey's saved by Legado del Fantasma, who comes out at the last second. Later on, you see Dominik cut a promo talking about on how he can't stand Rey at WrestleMania. He's going to beat him, and that he wishes Eddie was his real father, and that Rey never ceased to exist. Next up, we got Gunther going against Dolph Ziggler, and this is very much so what you would have expected. Really. Ziggler, Ziggler started out pretty good, and then Gunther murdered him. Ziggler got his fair share of shots in, but at the end of the day, Gunther, he just chopped his soul right out of his body, basically, and he got the win doing the Last Symphony, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Next up, so now we come to main event of the night. Cody Rhodes going against Solo Sikoa with my savior Paul Heyman ringside. And that Solo was pretty much manhandling Cody with Cody fighting tooth and nail to get his shots in on Solo. And man, it did not disappoint. And they did not downplay the the importance of this match. Solo has been undefeated since he appeared on the main roster. And Cody has been undefeated since his return from the Royal Rumble. And not only that, Cody, 6 days out from the biggest match in his career. Quite possibly one of the biggest matches in his career, I should say. And they did not downplay the tension and the stress, and not the tension and stress, but the tension and the importance of the match. And wow, maybe it's just me, but I felt the importance of this match through the commentators on that one. And I thought that was really good. You know, it's been a long time since I felt that kind of feeling from a match, let alone one on Monday Night Raw. It was good. I dug the match. Usos, they started to come down at one point, just hanging out midway down the ramp, and then to intimidate Cody. Next thing you know, KO and Sami come down. They go and beat the Usos up, chase them to the back. Match comes to an end when Solo, he goes for the Samoan Spike. Cody ducks it, works him, and then winds up eventually, wham, pops a crossroads on him. 1, 2, 3. That is it. Stick a fork in him. He is done. The end expression of the end expression look on Paul Heyman's face after the bell rung and it was announced Cody won, fully solidified it, in my personal opinion. No matter what, you can't change my mind, short from let me sit down and hear Triple H say it himself. Cody's winning. Because you think about it, this is the first real knock on the bloodline. Solo, the enforcer, suffers his first loss, and not just his first loss, but his first loss against the Tribal Chief's opponent at WrestleMania. Beautiful. Just beautiful storytelling with all of this. I can't stress it enough. So with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all get my shit fucked up. Thank you to my executive producer, Ben. Make sure y'all check out his stuff. He did provide the music for this week's show. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. Notice how I didn't mess them up. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, a lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool-ass guys on the Twitter, KittyKillerDSB_IV, Diabolic RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dust in your face. And folks, like I always tell you, also, don't forget to check out whatevermaneuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel. I got so many help support the show, and well, your beloved host's birthday is next week. Help give me a good gift by buying a t-shirt for yourself. And like I always say, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.